Black women over 40, what if I told you the $1 million retirement number might not apply to you? Today we're going to break down where the $1 million rule came from, whether it's realistic for us, and what you actually need instead. Girl, I have been all in the research, right? Doing everything. And it's like, you need $1 million to retire. If you don't have $1 million, you're not gonna be good. And this, that, and the third. And you need. It's like how we think about overconsumption. It's like the overconsumption of having money. I understand you need money to live and you have to save for rainy days because you just never know what can happen. I understand that. But it's like the fear that is put inside of us is unreal. It's unreal. I know so many people that have a lot of money, good savings, and they're not in the overconsumption world where they're buying like all the snazzy clothes, the bags. They don't even travel, okay? They don't even travel. They don't do nothing. And if they did travel back in the day when they was in their 20s or early 30s, they like, I don't want to travel no more. But traveling is a different experience as you get older. I remember I was talking to an individual and they were like, I wish I would have gotten married. And I was like, okay, tell me more. I wish I would have gotten married because I would have been able to experience more. What do you mean experience more? And this is definitely a sidebar. And I was like, experience more how? Experience more meaning I have all this money, but I felt like the person I met would have just as much money as me and we can travel together. So you mean to tell me you're not traveling and you're not doing the things that you want to do in life because you're waiting for a man? Girl, bye. It's a different experience, yes, when you go with someone. It's a different experience when you go by yourself. It's a different experience when you go with your girlfriends. It's a different experience when you go with your family. Travel can be different depending on who you go with. But let me tell you something. There's no other feeling of traveling by yourself. There's no better feeling because that's an experience that you created. But I just wanted to get that part out because we think about so much money that we save and we're waiting to live off of this money, but yet we could be spending this money and making experiences. Yes, you keep your cushion. I'm not telling you go out there and just have a good time, but you just experience life. I know so many people who don't experience life, don't do nothing, just sit and say they can't, but they can, they just don't want to. Life experiences just get them stuck where they just don't want to move forward. And I feel like a lot of women, we do that because some of us may have been married and then they get a divorce and they don't move and shake after that divorce. Life just stands stagnant and you can't move on because you feel like life's supposed to be done with a partner. Girl and boy, bye. Live your life, but nevertheless, where did this $1 million number come from? Or let's say this $1 million idea. Where did it come from? And from my research, it came from the 4% rule. So where that 4% rule came from, I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes. You know how they say, however your number is, right? Or whatever you want to make for the year, the income that you want. So say if you want 40,000, right? You take that 40,000 and then you times that by 25 because they're assuming that you're going to live 25 years after that, right? So then you say, okay, I got my 1 point whatever that number is, and I'm going to take 4% of that, like withdrawals of that money to live off of, like a 4% payout of that money. Is it something along that line? If not, you correct me, but I think I'm correct. Those were old traditional assumptions due to lifespan. People back then, they didn't live longer. Some people they would live until like 45, and then life expectancy went up. You know, people were living until like 70, 80, 90, and things like that. That's where, if I'm not mistaken, Medicare came in, and that's how they got to 65. If you live to 65, we can pay you. No, 62, we can pay you. Medicare is the 65. because people were not people were living to the age like 48 back then. Things were different. Things were so different before like really medicine came into play and things like that. So there's so many different nuances to this, but I tell you one thing, if they was to go back and revise it, they would probably push it. It wouldn't be 62. It would probably be 72. But I do feel like something I got an email from my Social Security. I do feel like somewhere on my Social Security it said if I wait to 72, I can get like the full benefit. I think mine is at 65, if I'm not mistaken. Because you can pull it out at 62. But I think mine, due to my years, I don't know why I feel that way. I'm gonna have to dive into that one a little bit to make sure I'm not tripping. In addition to traditional retirement age assumptions, it also was based upon household spending. If you have a high household spending, yes, you're gonna need that kind of money. You're gonna need that kind of money. I sit back and think about how I've been downsizing and just doing things different. I started slowly with the groceries because one, groceries is expensive. Okay, I sit back and think about how I would spend $200 and we'd be full for the month. You could spend 150 and you could be good for the week, depending on how you shop. That's just the groceries. That ain't talking about toiletries, getting toilet paper, paper towel, things like that you need. It's another thing. But if you have a really, really high spending household, yes, you will need more because you have to sustain your typical lifestyle. And an eye opener has been brought upon me is the fact that I can sit here and say in 5 years, I can live off of this. It made me say, well, why can't you live off of it now? Why do you have to wait 5 years to live off of that money? Live like that now. So, in these next few years, like you can't just drop things, you know, to drop up or down, but these next few years, I'm definitely going to be chipping away at things in my life because if I can sit and say I can live off of X, Y, and Z, I can do that now. And I'm going to do my damnedest to do that. So that $1 million number, why that $1 million number may not fit for us black women over 40 and not for every black woman. Because, some people have their lifestyle and they need that million. They might need 2, 3, 4, depending on because women out here are doing their thing, okay? And how we go is, wait, I got the wrong fingers. Oh, I got it right. Yeah, it's these ones. That means you are applauding. This one means like, yeah, you want some BS. This one means like, girl, you got it. I think I got it right. But the ladies who are doing it and who need 2 million, 3 million, to retire, rock out. I'm not amongst that group. If it happens, we love that for me and we love that for you too. But, and I feel like for me, I wouldn't want that. Because on all reality, money can afford you a lot, but it doesn't bring you peace. It doesn't bring you clarity. It doesn't bring you serenity. Any of them things. It doesn't. Money gives you access. And sometimes you can get access to something that you don't need. We all say if we get it, we'll keep it, and we'll do what we can. We will do what we can with it, right? So we're not pushing it away. We're just being very realistic over here. Because I know for me right now, I have to plan according to how my lifestyle is now. And these things I'm getting ready to mention, like I mentioned, why that $1 million number may not matter is because we're eliminating so many different things and you're bringing on things and so forth and so on. But these are some things that I just want to bring to the forefront on why that $1 million number may not even apply to you. You're lowering average household expenses, you're downsizing, and you're a single woman in retirement. Let me tell you something. You know how when people say, oh, it's best to do something with two? Absolutely it is. The more you have, the more you can do. It ease up of the thing. But sometimes, depending on the situation, one can be best because you're not doing all the extra nonsense that go with the two. Because I've seen so many people. I tell you, social media has been telling on women and men about sometimes going 50-50 with somebody or just living with somebody and you still carrying a load of two people, but yet they a little bit of changes over here. Girl, Like I said, if something comes my way, it has to be perfect. Well, you know what? Not perfect, because nothing in life is perfect. It has to be realistic, and it cannot wear me down by any means. Once I feel like this, you gotta go like this. You gotta get out over there. And last but never not least is lifestyle versus luxury in retirement. And what I mean by that is being realistic of your lifestyle and saying, hey, I can live like this, or I need to live in like super, super luxury. No, no. I'm not saying you can't do luxury things within your retirement, because who doesn't want to, every now and then do a lux moment? Yes, you're deserving of that. But having it as an everyday life, no, not for me. I like more homesy, down to earth, and all the things. In saying all that, what matters more than that million? Monthly expenses, healthcare planning, debt elimination, and income streams. We have to sit back and think about, is your goal wealth or freedom? I know for me, it's freedom, because having freedom is wealth. Having my health is wealth, because I can't buy a healthy heart. I cannot buy healthy lungs. I can't buy healthy knees. Yes, you can go get knee replacements and things like that, but the other complications that come along with that. But having what you already have and what you came here with is priceless. It's priceless. Always remember, you don't need $1 million. You need a plan that fits your lifestyle. And if you like this conversation, go ahead and hype the video, because you already know how I love that. I love when you hype the video up. It lets other black women over 40 know that we are over here and we have a community and we want them to come. But go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe, all the things. And if you know a black woman over 40 who would love conversations like this, share with her and tell her to come on over here so I can say, hey sis, thank you for being here. I'll catch you in the next one.